Come close now. Can you hear the leaves above you swaying gently? That's the sleepy tree whispering. It always knows when someone special has come to visit. Nestle in, little one. The moss is soft tonight, and the stars are just starting to peek through the branches. Take a deep breath in and let it out. You're here now, right where you belong. And tonight, the tree has a very nutty story to share. And I do mean that quite literally. Because this morning, the forest was buzzing with excitement. Bushy tails bouncing, feathers flapping, and chipmunks doing cartwheels for reasons no one could quite understand. And do you know why? Today was the Forest Festival. And that meant games, music, acorn pudding, and the wildest, most chaotic event of all, the Nutball Championship. Now, I should warn you, Nutball is not a game for the faint of heart. It involves one giant nut, 2 goals made out of woven vines, and rules that change depending on who's holding the scoreboard. And right in the middle of all the action was, well, a squirrel. But not just any squirrel. This was Ariel. Ariel the Squirrel is, how should I put this? Like a spark plug with fur. She's clever, fast, and has a tail so fluffy it's basically its own weather system. She recently got bark braces, adorable little wooden brackets on her 2 front teeth. And if you think that slowed her down, think again. She claims they make her more aerodynamic. You'll see what I mean. Because tonight, you and I are going to follow Ariel through one of the funniest, nuttiest, most over-the-top days the forest has ever seen. There will be flying pine cones. There will be mud. There will be at least 3 costume changes, and there will be exactly 1 moment where Ariel gets stuck in a sap bucket. But I won't spoil too much. Snuggle in close. The sleepy tree is ready. Are you? By the time the sun peeked over the edge of the treetops that morning, Ariel the Squirrel was already on her 6th motivational speech to herself. "Okay, Ariel," she muttered, pacing in frantic loops outside of her treehouse. "This is it. Big game, big moment. Braces? Check. Bounce? Check. Natural squirrel charisma? Double check. Today, we go full squirrel legend." She held up a nut like it was a microphone. "This is my destiny." Then she tripped over her own tail and fell into a pile of leaves, which she immediately pretended was a somersault. "Nailed it!" You see, Ariel had spent the entire week preparing for the Nutball Championship, like it was the Woodland World Cup. She had designed a training schedule called Operation Go Nuts with color-coded graphs. She created plays with names like the Whirlwind Acorn Shuffle and the Blazing Tail Twister. And she had built a custom water bottle holder from a hollow log and 2 elastic spider webs. Most importantly, she had personally recruited what she called the Elite Dream Team, which consisted of a porcupine who thought they were signing up for a baking contest, a frog who could only jump to the left, and a raccoon named Pickles who just really liked yelling, "Go team!" and eating orange slices. "But it's about spirit," Ariel declared, dramatically tying twine around her head like a sweatband. "Not skill. Okay, mostly about skill, but also costumes." She opened a walnut shell suitcase and revealed her personal game day uniform. A bright red cape made from a picnic napkin. A tail glitter, the biodegradable kind, of course. And a tiny wooden whistle she carved herself. It didn't work. It made a sound like a confused duck, but she used it constantly anyway. "All right, team," she said, pacing back and forth in front of the others like a squirrel-shaped coach. "Today, we make Nutball history. Do we have a chance at winning?" Everyone looked unsure. Ariel puffed up. "Oh, maybe not, but do we have style, heart, and raw squirrel power?" The porcupine blinked. "I have banana bread." "Even better!" Ariel shouted. "Let's go!" She took off running and immediately face-planted into her route. From the ground, she gave a thumbs up. "Just testing the soil. Very earthy. Excellent traction." The team followed her, tripping, bouncing, and laughing all the way down the hill toward the festival field. Because Ariel, she didn't show up just to play. She showed up to be unforgettable. The field was buzzing, literally. Bumblebees floated above in slow, lazy circles as the forest crowd gathered on grassy stumps and mossy ledges to watch the first big nutball match of the day. Ariel strutted onto the field with her team behind her, cape flapping, tails sparkling, and bark braces gleaming in the morning light. "Let's make Nutball famous," she whispered to herself. In one corner of the field, the official referee, Una the owl, wearing a tiny black and white striped scarf, gave a dignified hoot and blew the start whistle, which was actually just her saying, "Begin," very politely. The nut was dropped. The chaos began. Ariel darted forward, weaving between the other team, mostly squirrels and two extremely aggressive ducks, ready to show off her signature move, the tail tornado twirl. Unfortunately, her cape got caught on a nearby thistle bush. She spun, she twisted, and she launched herself directly into Lindyn the butterfly. Now Lindyn wasn't even playing. She was fluttering by to hand out little bottles of flower nectar to the players because hydration is transformation, she said sweetly. Ariel crash-landed at her feet, covered in glitter, thistle fuzz, and someone else's sock. "Oh, hi, Ariel," Lindyn said calmly, brushing pollen off her wings. "Nice landing. Was that a new move?" "Yes, totally intentional. Oh, I call it the butterfly bump," Ariel groaned. "Trademark pending." Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, Jolene the bird was doing play-by-play commentary from atop a branch with a pretend microphone made of a pine cone. And Ariel the squirrel flies through the air like a squirrel-shaped comet, Jolene chirped, taking out 3 players, a snack tent, and the dignity of at least one porcupine. The crowd roared with laughter. Ariel popped up, tail sticking out at a 90-degree angle, and gave the crowd a double thumbs up. I meant to do that, she shouted. She turned to her team. The frog had jumped into the snack table. The porcupine was guarding the wrong goal. Pickles the raccoon was wearing 2 helmets and offering orange slices to the enemy. Ariel took a deep breath and blew her duck-sounding whistle. "All right, team," she barked. "Let's regroup, recharge, and remember what we're here for." "To win?" asked the porcupine. "To dominate?" asked the frog. "To find out if Nutball counts as cardio?" asked Pickles. Ariel grinned. "No. To have the most epically fun time this forest has ever seen. And maybe score a few points along the way." From the sidelines, Jolene added, "That's the spirit, Squirrel Girl. Let the nutball madness continue." And it did. For the rest of the match, Ariel played with her whole heart. And maybe just a little bit of her elbows. She fell, she twirled, she got a leaf stuck in her braces, and at one point, accidentally scored a goal with her tail. But by the end, her team was laughing, the crowd was cheering, and Ariel felt like she might actually be winning, even if the scoreboard said otherwise. After what felt like 100 years of nut chasing, cape flapping, and a very unfortunate collision with a wheelbarrow full of mashed berries, Ariel finally flopped down on the edge of the field. Her tail was flat, her glitter was smudged, her bark braces still had a leaf stuck in them. And worst of all, she'd just kicked the ball into her own team's goal again. The crowd had laughed. Jolene had squawked, "Oh, tail to goal contact. That's gonna leave a mark." And Ariel had smiled. Sort of. But now, sitting in the grass, with sap on her elbow and moss in her socks, the smile was gone. "Maybe I'm not funny," she whispered to herself. "Maybe I'm just ridiculous." She sighed. Everyone laughed when I fell, when I got stuck, when the nut bounced off my braces and hit the referee in the beak. Twice. But no one laughed with me. They were laughing at me. She kicked at a pine cone. It politely rolled away. Just then, the ground beside her gave a small, gentle thud. She looked up, and there stood Phoenix the bear, holding 2 mugs of something warm and steamy in her big, fuzzy paws. "Hey," Phoenix said, sitting down beside her with a soft grunt. "I brought chamomile. It fixes most things." Ariel blinked. "Does it fix public embarrassment?" "I kicked it into my own goal," Ariel whispered. "Twice," Phoenix said, nodding sullenly. "And you also scored with your tail. You basically invented a new sport today." Ariel snorted. "Tail ball." Phoenix gave a deep bear chuckle. "Look, I know how it feels to try really hard, to care a lot and to mess up anyway. But you made this fun. You made us laugh with you. And that matters more than perfect plays or winning scores." She paused and then added, Also, your cape is awesome. And you're the only player I've ever seen do a front flip into a berry bucket and come out with snacks for the entire team. Ariel blinked. I did do that. Phoenix nudged her. You did. And that's legendary. For a moment, Ariel just sat there, watching the wind ripple across the field. Her braces glinted in the sunlight. Okay, she said finally, standing up and brushing herself off. One more game. Phoenix raised a fuzzy brow. Going back in? Ariel grinned wide. Not just going back. I'm going bigger. Full tailspin entrance. Possibly a victory song. Maybe a second cape. Phoenix smiled and handed her the second mug. Go be a nutball. Ariel tightened her bark braces and adjusted her red cape. This time with an extra sparkle of determination. The sun was dipping low, painting the forest gold, and the final match of the Nutball Championship was about to begin. Her team gathered, a little scruffier, a lot sillier, but ready. All right, team, Ariel announced. No more accidental goals. No more sap buckets, and definitely no more faceplants. We're here to play and have the most ridiculous, unforgettable game ever. Pickles the raccoon grinned, helmet slightly crooked. I'm ready to cheer and eat snacks. The frog gave a sideways hop. Left only? Only if it gets us to the goal, Ariel winked. The whistle, or rather, Una the owl's polite, begin, sounded. The nut rolled onto the field. The game exploded into action. Ariel darted forward with a grin, executing her newly perfected move, the tail twister tornado, a dizzying spin that sent the nut flying straight into the opposing team's goal. The crowd gasped, then erupted into cheers. She spun again, cape flapping, braces glinting, and caught the nut in midair, then bounced it off her tail like a pro. Jolene the bird shouted from the sidelines, "That's the move! That's the aerial magic!" Lindyn fluttered over, sprinkling glittering flower dust like confetti. Phoenix clapped her big paws, roaring her approval. The game became a whirl of laughter, clever passes, and wildly creative moves. At one point, Ariel accidentally launched the nut so high it landed in a tree. But instead of panicking, she climbed up and turned the moment into an impromptu nut juggling show. By the final whistle, Ariel's team hadn't just played, they had danced their way across the field, making friends, inventing new moves, and reminding everyone why fun was the best kind of winning. And though the scoreboard didn't show a perfect score, it showed something better. A crowd full of smiles, and a squirrel who knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. The sleepy tree creaked softly overhead, as if nodding in approval. And somewhere hidden in the shadows of the branches, a tiny nutball trophy waited, sparkling just for Ariel. the squirrel with the braced smile and the biggest heart in the whole forest. As the last game wrapped up and everyone flopped onto the grass giggling, Ariel stood in the middle of the field, mud-spattered, twig-haired, and absolutely glowing. "Well," she said with mock grandeur, "I may have invented 12 new moves, lost one shoe, and accidentally tackled a raccoon, but I'd say that was a success." Pickles burped quietly and gave a thumbs up from inside a snack barrel. Phoenix chuckled and handed her a towel. "You are a legend." Ariel gave a playful bow, tail fluffing proudly. Thank you. I'll be here all festival." But as the forest slowly began to quiet and the laughter faded into soft chatter and the light turned golden and sleepy, Ariel looked up at the branches of the sleepy tree swaying above. The wind whispered something through the leaves, something old and gentle and kind. Ariel climbed up onto a low branch and let her legs dangle. The nutball field was still below her. A few fireflies had started to blink in the grass. Jolene sang a quiet lullaby from her perch nearby, and Lindyn fluttered past, sprinkling shimmer into the dusk. Ariel sighed, full and happy. The kind that only comes after a day where you've laughed so hard your cheeks hurt, and maybe changed just a little without even realizing it. She leaned back against the warm bark of the sleepy tree and whispered to the leaves, "I think today was perfect. Not because we won, but because I was me." And the sleepy tree, with all the years and all the knowing, creaked a soft reply, like a bedtime hum wrapped in moss and moonlight. And so the forest grew quiet, and it's here, with the last shimmer of the festival fading into firefly glow, that will pause. Because now it's time for rest. Time for stillness. Time to listen to the quiet breath of the trees. Hello, dear friend. Now that Ariel's adventure has settled into the hush of the evening, it's time to come here, right beside the sleepy tree, beneath her wide, whispering branches. Take a deep breath in with me. Feel your chest rise, your lungs fill with the fresh, cool forest air. And slowly breathe out. Let the breath carry away any wiggles or worries from the day. Breathe in again, feeling the calm of the trees reaching towards the sky. And out, letting your body soften, like a leaf gently drifting down to rest on the soft moss below. Now, bring your attention to your feet. Feel them resting. rooted gently into the earth, just like the sleepy tree's strong, quiet roots. And slowly move your attention up your legs, feeling the quiet strength here. Relax your knees, your thighs. Loosen any tightness or busyness you might be holding. Breathe in calm. Breathe out tension. Imagine Ariel, the brave and funny squirrel, sitting nearby on a low branch. Her braces sparkle softly in the fading light, and her tail curls around her like a fluffy blanket. She's smiling, quiet now, calm and happy, just like you. Bring your awareness to your belly, rising and falling with each breath. Imagine the gentle rhythm of butterflies' wings, slow and steady. And if your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Like a curious squirrel, your thoughts might dart here and there. Just gently bring your focus back to your breath. And now scan your body from your belly up to your chest. To your shoulders. And your neck. Feel any tight spots gently soften, like the morning sun melting a frosty leaf. Relax your jaw. Maybe even give your braces a little break from smiling. Imagine you're sitting beneath the sleepy tree's branches. The leaves shimmer with soft golden light, and the air carries the scent of pine, earth, and something sweet, like wildflowers or fresh honey. And with every breath, feel yourself becoming lighter, like Ariel's laughter lifting on the breeze. Imagine a soft breeze wrapping around you like a cozy blanket. It carries whispers of the forest, stories of friendship, bravery, and fun adventures. You might even hear a gentle hoot from Una the owl, reminding you that it's okay to rest, to dream, and to be exactly who you are. Now bring your hands to rest gently over your heart. Feel your heartbeat. steady, calm, and strong. Breathe in the love and the laughter of the day. And breathe out any worries or tightness. You can stay here for as long as you like. Quiet, peaceful, safe. Wrapped in the gentle arms of the sleepy tree and her forest friends. Good night.